Ray Peat explained in around a minute. Dr. Ray Peat was a biologist, philosopher, and painter. Ray's goal was to maximize energy production or metabolism and protect against stress. Dr. Peat's main thesis is that energy and structure are interdependent at every level. This applies not only physically, but spiritually, and this is what makes Peat's work so extraordinary. Maximizing the flow of energy is what gives us drive, allows us to gain autonomy, heal from stressors, and ultimately expand consciousness. In Dr. Peat's view, impaired energy production is the sole cause of disease and degeneration. When your metabolism is high, you burn more carbohydrates than fat. Burning more carbohydrates produces more ATP, consequently supporting the metabolism, and burning more fat produces less ATP, consequently lowering the metabolism, since most of the time that fat is the inflammatory polyunsaturated fat. Ray believed that polyunsaturated fats, which are essentially seed oils, are what have caused all of the degenerative conditions by impairing metabolism. As Ray famously said, keeping the metabolic rate up is the main thing, and there are lots of ways to do it. Essentially, you want to only eat things and only do things that increase energy production or metabolism. And the best way to measure metabolism is your temperature and pulse. Upon waking, your temperature should be around 97.5 degrees Fahrenheit and rise to around 98.6 in the middle of the day. The pulse of healthy populations should be anywhere from 60 to 100 beats per minute. If your temperature and pulse are consistently low, this is a sign that your metabolism is low. And if temperature and pulse fall after eating breakfast, this is a sign you're running off of the stress hormones, which we want to avoid. Energy production requires resources, and for most people, this means a gram of protein per pound of body weight from high-quality whole food sources such as grass-fed red meat, shellfish, eggs, and dairy. Pure muscle meat is rich in the inflammatory amino acids tryptophan, methionine, and cysteine, so balancing muscle meat with gelatinous cuts of meat or gelatin powder can comprise about 30% of protein intake. Anywhere from 250 to 500 grams of carbohydrates is good, preferring simple sugars rather than starches, since starches can impair digestion and energy flow. Ripe fruits, fruit juices, raw honey, cane sugar, or table sugar should be consumed. Since sugar is not actually the enemy, the things that impair metabolism are the enemy. Well-cooked potatoes and white rice, both eaten with saturated fat, can also be tolerable, but listening to how you feel is the most important thing. This is the whole idea of peating, to perceive, think, and act. Balancing all meals with the protein to carbohydrate ratio of around 1 to 2 is a good measure to keep in mind. This allows blood sugar to stay relatively stable and helps nutrients to be digested and assimilated. Saturated fat should be the preferred fat, since it's anti-stress, structures cells, and offsets PUFA. 60 to 120 grams is a good range. Butter, coconut oil, which also further increases the metabolism, authentic extra virgin olive oil, and ghee are good sources. Grains, beans, nuts, and seeds should be highly avoided as they're not easily digestible and impair energy production. Chicken, pork, salmon, tuna, and other high PUFA foods should also be avoided since they impair energy production as well. Modern diets are high in phosphate, which is inflammatory, and should be balanced with calcium, which calms the cells and is overall anti-stress. A ratio of calcium to phosphate of around 2 to 1 is good. Calcium is also good for inhibiting excess iron absorption, which is also another issue of modern diets. Milk, cheese, and ice cream are rich in calcium and provide a balanced source of nutrients that can literally comprise a large part of the diet. Ray also believed heavily in coffee for its benefits to metabolism and overall health, seeing caffeine as a vitamin-like substance. As long as coffee is consumed with enough nutrients, such as with a meal, milk, heavy cream, and/or sugar, then it's good to consume. For its benefits to gut health and hormone balancing, insoluble fiber such as Ray's carrot salad consisting of 1 carrot grated lengthwise, 1 tablespoon of coconut oil or extra virgin olive oil, 1 tablespoon of white vinegar or apple cider vinegar with a pinch of salt can be eaten daily for its antibiotic and antiseptic qualities. Supplemental foods of liver and oysters should be consumed once or twice a week for their rich vitamin and mineral content. Occasional well-cooked greens can also be good. Supplemental magnesium, fat-soluble vitamins, B vitamins, ensuring adequate salt intake and micronutrients are also other factors to keep in mind. If from diet and lifestyle alone temperature can increase, supplemental thyroid hormones should be considered. The Ray Peat community on Twitter has plenty of resources, and the Ray Peat forum is full of discussions surrounding Ray's ideas. Looking up anything you're interested in followed by Ray Peat is a great place to start.